let's take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway and beat up. Wow! Come on, and groove along. Come on. I said, babe. I said, babe. Oh, honey, come and groove along. You gotta feel it. Yeah, you gotta move along. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it, feel it, feel it, feel. You gotta feel it. On the roadway, you gotta.
Good morning, day 3. As you can see, I'm all loaded up with my big pack, and it's particularly big this morning because I'm carrying a lot of water and food for the next several days. So today's going to be pretty tough, just carrying it all. If it gets too tough, I can dump some water because there is plenty of water along the track. It has to be treated, so I've loaded up with fresh water because if I can get it up there, then I don't have to treat the water for a while anyway. But if I'm struggling, I can dump it. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now. I'm starting to make my way down to the visitor centre for check-in, and then we'll get started. So too early to know how my body's feeling yet. We'll see once I start walking along with this heavy pack. Yeah, and so here begins the Overland track. Okay, so here we go. Day 3, and officially starting the Overland track. Made a pretty big boo-boo this morning, which I'm equal parts sad and happy about. Got to the visitor centre and went through the safety brief and everything, and the instructions are basically to go through that process, and then you get out and you board a shuttle which takes you to the start of the Overland track. Now I kind of just made the assumption that that was the process, and you know, I just had to take the shuttle for that little bit. But once I was on the shuttle, I could see the boardwalk, which means I just missed like several kilometres of boardwalk, which, you know, I know I'm still going to see lots of beautiful stuff, but I would have liked to have walked that stretch had I known. But on the plus side, I didn't have to walk that distance. So except for the fact that that's counterintuitive to this entire endeavour, that's nice. Day 3 is typically the hardest day too in terms of adjusting. It's pretty tough to throw your body at something like this and not have a period of fatigue, and typically it's day 3, so if there was ever a day to shave some kilometres off, I guess this was the one. Still, in saying that, the climb from here up to some of the lookouts and to the first hut which I'm staying in, which is the Waterfall Valley Hut, by all accounts is pretty steep, so I'm sure I'll still have a challenging day regardless. But and while we're talking, we have a little friend here. I can see his butt. Let's see if I can get him on the camera. Hang on. I don't want to step off the boardwalk because that's not ideal here. Let me just wait. I'm going to make the assumption that you can see him now, hiding under the boardwalk. I hope you're happy. I'm down on my hands and knees for you for this. Alright, well, I'm going to get started properly and leave this guy in peace. And I'll check in again later. Alright, see ya. I can't believe I'm actually doing this after so long. I'd actually planned to do the Overland track just on its own in around June or July last year, and that was when I had it booked for, but I'd obviously been thinking about it for some time before that, so it's been quite the timeline leading up to this point, but here we are. According to the info at the moment, I'm going to have a pretty easy couple of first days in terms of weather. Bit of rain, bit of wind maybe, but not too dramatic. And then apparently in the last couple of days there could be some snow. That's what it says at the moment, but of course these things can change. So we'll just have to wait and see. All part of the fun. So you're just going to have to put up with my puffing and panting on this one. As you can see, it's a tad steep. I have to lower the camera just so you can see it. I'm not close to the top yet, so far as I understand. But this is Cradle Mountain itself, so I had to do this, even if it takes me a long time. Of course, I've dropped my big pack, so I just took some essentials with me for safety, but other than that, I'm pretty light on now to make this a little easier on myself. So I'm just going to record a little bit of this, only because I have a drink bottle in one hand and now a camera in the other, which no hands is not great for rock scrambling like this, especially when there's bits of ice in between. But this is the summit track up to Cradle Mountain. As you can see, it's a nice, easy, well-worn path. Maybe not for the faint of heart, but it's pretty awesome. Alright, so I gotta go across that. I reckon I might put you away for now, so that I don't end the trek prematurely with a broken bone of some description. Okay. So hopefully getting close to the summit now. I keep telling myself that I need to get a wriggle on, because I don't want to... Well, wait, two things. I don't want to be still up on this mountain as the sun goes down, because my main bag of stuff is down below. And secondly, I really don't want to get in too late tonight, so I keep telling myself to hurry up. 2 seconds later I stop to take another photo because it's just really pretty. So can't blame me too much. Risking life and limb again to record some of this, so you can see how beautiful it is. That's where I've come down just there. So you can see this pole just in front of me, and you can see a pole just up there at the top. I think that's about the summit. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm going to put this away just, again, to look after myself. But yeah, pretty awesome trail. I've reached the summit. Oi. I even have it all to myself. How about that? Boy, this was a climb, a scramble. Now I just have to hope my bag is still down the bottom when I get back, right? There you have it, the summit. I'm going to have a quick drink, sit down to catch my breath for a minute or two, and then I'm just going to start going straight back down. Absolutely stunning up here. So, according to the sign, I'm 30 minutes from the hut. Oi, I'm shattered. The climb up the summit, followed by my bag being as heavy as it is at the start of this several days. It's been a tough day, but a beautiful day too. So I haven't decided yet whether I'll jump in a tent tonight or whether I'll try and get a spot in the hut itself. Obviously I want to do both throughout the trip, but I don't want someone who's snoring in there. But with all the people that are going to be in there, it's just a guaranteed. And even outside in your tent, other tents might be there, so it's hard to avoid. Oh well, I'll just have to make sure I'm exhausted at the end of each day so I can sleep. That works, right? Oi. Let's give you this little view. Oh. There's the summit, just up there. That's where I was not that long ago. Okay, kind of finish this thing. And by this thing, I just mean today. As you can see, coming up in front of me is the, drumroll please, very nice looking Waterfall Valley Hut. Looks kind of spiffy. And a helipad over there too, just for my private helicopter to come and check in on me. So I'm thinking I'll try and score a bed in this guy, especially now that I've seen it. Looks pretty swanky. They might not be so swanky the further I go. So I'll try to get a bed here, and if I'm unsuccessful, of course I'll use my tent, but I really want to use my tent too, so I'm going to use that throughout the overland track regardless. But this is day 3, which is typically the toughest day, so I think I'll treat myself with a dorm bed. Alright, I'll probably check in again later. If not, see you in the morning. Good morning. It is the start of day 4. It's a chilly start, but it's a beautiful start. You're looking at Waterfall Valley Hut. That's where I spent the night last night. Very new, very comfy. Pretty noisy though, with everybody coming in and out, snoring. My pet hate. But at the same time, I know I can snore sometimes if I'm really tired, and everyone's pretty tired because they've all been carrying these heavy packs, so I guess everyone needs to be cut some slack. But it doesn't do very well for sleeping, so I might try and tent tonight so I can get some better sleep. Just going to try and capture some of this sky because it's very beautiful. Just getting some early light. Yeah, how nice is that? Not a bad place to start your day. Well, yeah, today's going to be fairly easy. It's only going to be about 8 k's. So I'm going to take my time leaving here this morning, have a good breakfast, and then wander on down to the next hut, which is Windermere. And as I said, it's about 8 k's away, fairly cruisy, all things considered, compared to the last few days. So that's nice. It can be a little bit of a rest day, a recharge day. Alright, day 4, we're officially underway. I don't know why I always say where. I am in singular. It's just me. And me and my split personalities, maybe? No, I don't know. But I'm underway. So I've just left Waterfall Valley Hut, and I'm making my way to Windermere Hut, which is about 8 kilometers away, or 3 hours according to the sign. So actually a pretty cruisy day today, as I think I've already mentioned, so that's good. Had a good breakfast, slept okay. Yeah, again, pretty noisy in the cabin, but all good. So feeling pretty good today. I feel like today is going to be a little bit of a recovery day. Shorter distance, no crazy climbs up mountains. Should be fairly easy. Right now the weather's pretty alright. It's chilly, but I'm not wearing a jacket at the moment, so it's not too chilly. I'm just in a long sleeve shirt, and hopefully that can stay that way, because I ideally don't want to be sweating. So I don't mind being a little chilly, don't That means I'm not going to be sweating. So anyway, day 4. So far so good. No major complaints, physically or mentally. And just enjoying myself so far. So regretting not putting my jacket on about now. It's a fairly exposed part. I can put it on soon if I need to. Okay, it's let me have a look at my watch here. It's 10 o'clock and I'm already at Windermere Hut. So I'm going to assess what tomorrow looks like and see if I can't maybe make it more of today. Well, there's kind of your answer anyway. New 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Hut, 5 hours. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I think I'm combining my days. That'll give me a 𝗧𝘀𝘃𝗃𝗃 out my sleeve too. Alright, I'm going to go in and have a quick rest and a drink and update the logbook. And then I reckon I might get back on walking. I can't stop now. It's too early. I'd feel too lazy. Okay, here we have the inside of Windermere Hut. As I mentioned, this is supposed to be the end point for day 4, but it's 10 AM and I'm here already. So I'm gonna walk on to 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, which you can see here. It's about another 16k, so it's going to turn it into a pretty long day, but the benefit will be that then I have a day up my sleeve, as I've mentioned, and that might come in really handy later on. So I'm going to fill in the logbook just over here so people know that I didn't end up staying here, but I did get here. And quick break and then I'll carry on. So it's about 16 k's from Windermere. I've done about one of those so far. So not worried at all, plenty of time. Just taking my time, taking it steady. I think this is a good decision. I might not feel the same way after I've done another 10 k's or 13 k's and I got just a few to go. I'll probably be very happy to reach New 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I can see some fog up ahead, some low cloud. So it's probably going to get pretty icy in there, I'd say. I've got my jacket on and everything now, I'm all rugged up. So I'm ready for it. We'll see how we go. So I guess it was just a matter of time. Little guy. Probably the first of many. First I've seen though. And here we are, Tasmanian hut. It's a good effort. It's not just about the one day. It's the fact that it's been now 4 days of intensity. So it's going to be nice to have that spare day up my sleeve in case I need it, in case all this distance I'm covering gets the better of me at some point. There you go, you get a view of the toilets. It's always nice to see the restroom facilities. So making my way out of Tasmanian Hut area and starting towards, at this stage, 𝗧𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗲, which is another hut. Again, it's only 8 k's, but it is a pretty steep climb up and then a descent down to get to the hut. Now when I get to the peak of that climb, I have the opportunity to veer off and ascend Mt 𝗧𝘀𝗀𝗃𝗲, which is Tasmania's highest peak. Now, at day 5, climbing up Tasmania's highest peak might not sound like the most exciting endeavour, but I'm here, and I'd like to be able to do it. What's working against me though is the weather. There is heavy rain predicted for today. This stage, it's later on in the day, like more the evening, so I might be lucky, but I can't really make that call until I get to the top. Plus, as I've already mentioned, it's day 5. I've already got a lot of wear into my legs, so by the time I reach the top of that climb from today's walk, veering off and doing, a 5-hour sidetrack up Mt 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗲, it might be a bit too much to ask. So I'm not committing myself, but I would like to do it. If I don't do Mt 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃𝗲, that pulls me back to just an 8-kilometre day, which again, like yesterday, might feel a little short. It might not because of the climb, but we'll see. And if it does, then I might want to carry on to 𝗧𝗀𝘃𝗃𝗲𝗃, which is the next hut. So, a few formats for today, a few varieties of track. just really depends on how the day plays out. So for now, focus on getting up this climb, so then I can get to the start of the Mt Wellington trailhead and decide if I want to do that or not. Okay, so it's about 10 o'clock on day 5, and I'm about to try and go up Mt Wellington. The weather's a bit hairy, but as you can see, I'm well and truly rugged up. I've got my bag wrapped up from the elements and from the animals. I've already had the 𝗧𝗀𝘃𝗲𝗃𝗲 break into my bag once. And it's apparently about 5-hour return to go up to the top and back. Hopefully I'll be able to do that a bit quicker. I'll turn around, you can see it in the background. It doesn't look like a whole lot. Whoops. Wow, that's my face. There you go. Who is this rookie driving this thing? Anyway, so gonna get cracking on that now. Dear diary, if I don't make it back, no, I'm only kidding, should be fine. See if I can flip this thing around. I got my big gloves on and they don't make it very easy to press buttons. Alright, I'm just gonna stop recording and then I'll start again. Go the easy way. And I'll start recording the track up. Okay, we're underway after those little bit of technical difficulty. So, traveling with a very light pack, basically has a little bit of food, well, a bit more than a little bit, some water. My PLB and my InReach are both on me. What else? A light. I think that's kind of most of it. I'll have tree cover for a while, which will protect me, but once I get towards the top I'll be fairly exposed, I think, so there's no reason I can't turn back at any point. But obviously I'll make my best effort now to get up fully covered in wet weather gear should it rain. I might end up sweating a lot as a result. We'll see how we go, but this is all part of it, giving it a go, not just always taking the easiest option and missing things. Sometimes it's a necessity, sometimes it's an accident, but this is the highest peak in Tassie, so it'd be pretty cool to conquer this as part of the whole endeavour. So this of course was one risk of doing this, is I've left my pack down below and I've just come to a clearing. I've climbed up a bit and I can already see 𝗧𝗀𝘃𝗲𝗃𝗲s attacking my pack. The question's going to be whether it's protected enough to hold them off. I doubt you'll be able to. No, definitely not with this. I might try my phone to zoom in. Looks like they've already stripped off one rain cover. This could be really bad. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Hope they don't do too much damage. And hopefully the rain doesn't get in. Yeah, you walk away, 𝗧𝗀𝘃𝗃𝗲. Alright, I'm gonna get going. So still making my way up Mt Wellington. Has actually been significantly easier than I thought at this point. I mean, I haven't done the final ascent yet, which I'm sure is going to be a bit of climbing. But up to this point, it's been pretty good. So long as the last part isn't ridiculously slow and difficult, which it could be, I'm going to knock this over real quick, which is great, and get back and assess the damage from the 𝗧𝗀𝘃𝗃𝗲s from the highway bandits. tell you what, it's so nice to move without a big heavy bag. So much easier. Alright, well, I'm not too far from the summit, so I will check in again once I reach that point. Hopefully without too much trouble. It could get more difficult. As you can see, it's a pretty hectic climb now, and covered in snow too. So hard work, but getting there. Myself in a little crevice just to have a little break. I'm nearly there, but it's so windy. I might get to the top and just get blown off. If there was a point where I decided to turn around, I reckon I'm like 90-95% of the way there. So the next little bit of climbing will be telling. I feel like this is a wind tunnel. So it might get better, it might get worse. Right now it's insane. The good thing is I'm warm, comfortable, I'm not cold or anything. I just have to be really mindful of the risk this wind poses, you know. As you can see. Well, I'm seemingly at the top. I can't find a marker, but as you can see the weather's not great. I've been walking around a bit looking. I might just be missing it, but this is the end of the path, so end of the track, maybe, not a path. did go rogue a couple of times away from the track without realizing it. I mean, when you're boulder scrambling like this, it's kind of a choose your own adventure anyway. But made it to the top. That's the objective for today, I guess. And man, definitely an experience. So a few spots of rain coming again. There is heavy rain forecast for this evening, so I'm just going to start making my way straight back down, so I can get back down on solid ground and safe as soon as possible, and check out the damage from the currawongs. I'll probably just see you at the bottom. Say goodbye to Mt Wellington. On my way back down. I'm through the really hairy stuff. It's an easy walk back down to the bottom now. So feeling pretty elated. Not just with the fact that I ticked that off and got up there, but that I just managed to do it. It wasn't exactly the perfect day for it. It was pretty intense, but I'll maybe speak to that a bit more when I get to the bottom or on the walk to the hut. But for now, you can get off the edge of your seat. I made it up and down safely. Go back to eating popcorn. Now I want popcorn, damn it. And I'll probably check in once I'm down the bottom and assessing the the damage from the wildlife. Alright, I can see my bag. It's there. That's about all I can tell from here because I do not have telescopic eyeballs. But it's there. So I'll keep making my way down, and when I get to the bottom we can approach the crime scene together and see what the result is. Here we go. Moment of truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we can see from this scene here is twofold. Obviously the birds were trying to get in, but someone's come along and helped out by putting those logs on top to stop them, because they could probably rip that top cover off, is my guess. You see those straps hanging out the top there? That's from a pocket, so they've opened that pocket. I'm a little worried about this water on the ground because I know that my water bladder nozzle was down the bottom, and I'm hoping that hasn't come out of my bag. Little note, obviously, to anyone doing this and doing side trips and leaving their bag: be really careful for the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃s, because yeah, they're clever little buggers. So you make sure your bag can be sealed up tight, which obviously I haven't overly succeeded in so far. Alright, I'm going to get that pack back on and start my walk towards 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I think it's like another 4 k's, so far so good. So upon closer inspection of my bag, whilst it looked pretty good when I approached, it's pretty clear the birds got right into my bag. They'd opened up a lot of different zips, and unless somebody has taken some of my snacks to keep them safe, the birds might have cleared me out. Now I'm laughing at the humour of it, but really it's not a good thing, because one, it means rubbish, two, it means, you know, those birds getting a reward for that behaviour, and obviously it's not food they should be eating, so it's actually a really, really bad thing, and I'm not happy about it. But I think I'm most likely not the first person to get bamboozled by the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃s. I'm certainly not going to be the last. So I've learned a lesson out here so far with the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃s, that they are as good as children in terms of getting into a bag. They can open the zips really easily, they can pull off the rain covers. So yeah, you need to seal those zips up somehow, which is rather tricky with some bags, I imagine. I know this bag doesn't have dual zips, so I'd really have to think it through before I did it. So certainly something I'll have to factor in if I'm going to do another side trip. And I'm certainly down a bunch of snacks, including my 2 chocolate bars that I was very much looking forward to, if they clean them out, which seems like a massive haul for the birds, and there was no trace of anything nearby, but you know, they could have just grabbed everything and ran. Who knows? Little bandit birds. Again, luckily I took some snacks with me on that little sidetrack, so I've got some snacks with me still that I can have now. So I'll eat those and then, yeah, meander on to the hut for tonight. Sopping wet would be a fair description of me now after this last little walk. I didn't end up stopping and eating because I'm so close to 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 that I might as well just get there and eat. I'm about 200 meters away, maybe less. So very close now. I don't know what time it is exactly. I could check, but I haven't. It's not too late, I don't think. Maybe early afternoon, mid-afternoon. So, all in all, pretty good day, except for the bird attack. Welcome to 𝗃𝗆𝗃𝗃𝗃. There we go, if you can see that. I think my screen's a little fogged up now. Alright, I'm heading in. So as you can probably hear, I picked one of the worst nights to be camping. No, actually the cabin was pretty full, and I recognised some snory people too, so I thought, you know what, I'll come out here tonight. I might regret it, it's very wet. My tent's holding up for the moment, but it's not just wet, it's really cold, so there is some condensation forming as well. So, see how we go. I did expect that could happen, so I actually have a bivvy bag in here as well, and I'm inside that with my sleeping bag, so even if my tent gets a bit wet, my bivvy bag shouldn't, and that way my sleeping bag, the most important thing, will stay dry. So we'll see how I go. Tomorrow I'm going to walk on to the 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 hut. It's not a huge day, so hopefully I can have a bit of a slower start tomorrow without all the noise of people getting up, and hopefully the rain has stopped and I can pack this down and walk over there. That's the idea for now. I'll keep this short just because it's probably really noisy, but yeah, I'll check in again in the morning, and that's the end of day 5. Good morning, it's day 6, and it's very wet. As you can see, it was a super wet night. Everything got soaked. My tent held up through the strong winds, but as was the case with everybody, I think, it was pretty damn soggy afterwards. So I'm not sure how usable it's going to be from now because it's very wet. I bought a bivvy bag with me too, and that kept my sleeping bag dry, which is the most important thing. But a very wet, stormy night and a very wet day, as you can see. So I'm just going to put the accelerator on today and try and get all the way through to Narcissus Hut, which is the last hut on the Overland track, and set up myself there. Consider maybe tomorrow doing a day trip up to Pine Valley, but I won't need my heavy pack that way. Everything's pretty soggy at this point. Everything. Alright. I'm going to stop recording for now just so I can focus on walking. Hopefully I'll check in a bit later. It's going to be a long, wet day. Alright, day 6, here we go. Super wet, 8 Ks. Here's 𝗧𝘃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Stop in here for a rest and then get going. I'm probably gonna put you away at this point too because it's just too wet. I'll come back when I get to Narcissus. So I'm happy to say I made it to Narcissus Hut. As I mentioned earlier, I kept this device and my phone locked away because it was so wet. So as a result, missed a lot of the cool views and nice bridge and everything coming in. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a day trip into Pine Valley tomorrow, which will see me leave the hut for the day, come back the same way I went today. So I'll still be able to capture it. So it's just a couple of lads here at the moment. They've gone for a bit of a walk, I think. I'm going to set up top there. Narcissus Hut is the spot where a lot of people will catch the ferry out, and this will be their endpoint. I'm obviously not doing that. I'm going to walk out. But yeah, for a lot of people, this is kind of the end of the walking. For me, it's thankfully a warm spot where I can hang some clothes above a little fire. And that means that I can dry some stuff, which was important if I wanted to do a day trip tomorrow, because everything's so wet. Like right there on the corner, that's my underwear drying because I was wet right through to that extent. So I'm going to set up my bed now, so I've got that warmth ready to go. And then I don't even know what time it is right now, but it wouldn't be that, pardon me, that late. It would be maybe 3:30. So yeah, I'll just get settled in and start organising myself and laying some other things out to dry from the wet weather from last night. So a pretty uneventful day from a video perspective, but hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. Anyway, this was day 6, I think. I'm losing track. Yeah, I think this was day 6. So hopefully day 7 is a bit more interesting on camera. But the main thing was, as wet as I was and as cold as it is, I managed to get here okay today. That was really the only goal. Alright, we are underway for day 7. So, change of plans from yesterday. It's always nice to have the ability to flex your plans around if you need to. I had 2 thoughts in my mind yesterday, that I'd either take a rest day at Narcissus Hut or do a day trip back into Pine Valley. And so today I've decided to do neither of those things. Right now it's like the only time that it hasn't been raining. When I woke up this morning it was pouring with rain. It's been raining on and off since. So what I don't want to do is head out to Pine Valley and get rained on all day and even more wet. Not that I think I could get more wet, but I know that there's a lot of people coming from the last hut to Narcissus Hut today, and so that precious space to dry your clothes will be heavily utilised. So the Pine Valley plan, decided against it. It's fine, I can't do everything while I'm out here. It's just something I'll have to do another time, I hope. So then that left me with the other option, which was to stay at Narcissus Hut and have a rest day. And I'm not great at that. And considering that I'm not 2 days ahead, I'm only 1 day ahead, what I decided would be a bit wiser is to walk out today. So of course I'm not catching the ferry to Jaseinthewild Bay. I'm going to walk to Jaseinthewild Bay. In fact, I'm going to walk on to Derwent Bridge, which is where my stop for the night is. But I'm going to walk out today and get there, and hopefully that means in a room there I can warm my clothes a bit better, because some of this stuff I want to use for the 3 capes, and I'm basically going to be getting to Derwent Bridge, putting it in a bag and sending it down to Port Arthur. And if it's all still soggy and wet, it's not going to be very nice at 3 capes. So I could really use a day in a room to just sort everything out and get everything as dry as possible before I have it picked up and sent down to Port Arthur and the Three Capes. And making my way towards 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Hut is the first stop, about 6 k's in, and then keep walking, reach Jaseinthewild Bay and the end of the Overland track, and then on just a little bit further to Derwent Bridge, where I have a new bag waiting for me, my mid-size bag, some additional dry clothing, and water. Lots of water. And I can, rearrange my gear and get everything sorted. So busy looking down that I'm not looking up. Have a look at this. There's some snow up there. So hopefully today stays a little drier and I can use my camera a bit more. So far, another very wet experience. It's not raining quite as much, but everything is wet, so it doesn't take long to become wet. So just a little opening that I can come out to Lake St. Clair. As you can see, it's a delightfully wet day. I think I might go back in the trees. What do you reckon? It is wet. Very soggy couple of days. How's that for a way to finish? Not sure if you can see it, but there's a rainbow out there. I think it's just blurring up when I try. You'll just have to trust me. I'm getting there. Again, not going to record for too long because it's very wet. I think the camera's even all blurry as well. Alright, gonna keep going. I really don't know how good the video is. It's pouring with rain, but I'm approaching the visitor centre, which marks the end of the Overland track, or thereabouts. I am very wet.